true.
Well, hello. Welcome to another session of Be Kinetic. And I just love the word kinetic because it talks about this energy and this excitement and about motion. And maybe tonight I want to talk a little bit around that. And something of a saying that is stuck in my head is life does not improve by itself. It requires intentional effort. Now, if your garden is similar to mine, if I leave it alone, somehow it finds weeds all by itself. No matter what I do, if I do not give my garden attention, it deteriorates, it gets worse. I've never found anyone who has a garden that improves by itself. The same is with my car, that if I do not intentionally wash it, if it's not well maintained, what happens is it goes backwards. And for so many people is they have this longing, they have this desire, they have this hope that their lives would go forward, that their lives would improve, that their lives would become better, but it's a hope. It's not intentional effort. It's not by design. And so I really want to encourage you to be on a journey with me, as I'm also on this journey of life, is to go, what is the outcome that we're looking for? What is the desire that we want? And how are we intention, I'm using that word often on purpose, making it go that way? What strategies do we have in place? What habits have we developed? How are we going to get there beyond just a hoping and a wishing and it's rainbows and fairies? Because we all know that that is simply not a reality. And I mentioned this in the last session, and maybe I want to pick it up again, and it's so fundamental to us, is we need to take responsibility for our lives. There are so many challenges. Weeds in a garden are real. But in spite of that, we're going, I am keeping my garden clean. I am putting in the flowers. I am watering it. I am getting rid of the weeds. And we would do that for a garden. But how often are we neglecting our lives? And there's something of this intentionality of what we do, and it's picking up this responsibility. And so is it possible? And this image that you're going to see now, for me, is just encapsulated, is that who's holding the paintbrush of the road that you are walking on? Is it possible that we've given this paintbrush to someone else or to some circumstances? Or have we taken this paintbrush and we are painting the picture of our lives that we want? And we're not allowing circumstances, as real as they are, to dictate our lives. We're not allowing the challenges of life to say this is the route that we're going to go. But know that we're saying that's the outcome, and we're going to paint, we're going to design the road that we want to be on. And again, it's taking up this responsibility. It's taking the ownership of our lives. It's taking the ownership of the direction that we want to go to. Years ago, I read the quote from Og Mandino where he said that no map, no matter how detailed, will never take you to any destination. And so often is that we read books, we may even listen to sessions like this, we go on workshops, and we get the details of life, and we get the techniques and the strategies, but if we don't take the ownership to go from A to B, if we don't take our lives into our own hands, is we're simply not going to go anywhere. We're not going to leave our current state. And I think one of the ways that will help us, and this is why I'm excited about the word kinetic, is around being proactive and efficacious. And the word efficacious just simply means to do it. The whole Nike slogan or the swish and the just make it happen, just do it, is the essence of being efficacious. And how many people have given up their future, their destiny, because of this passiveness? And there's something about, no, I'm going to make it happen. I'm not going to wait for a handout. I'm not going to wait if these doors open. There's something about, I am going to open the doors. I'm going to go seek it out. And obviously, we don't want to kick doors down, but it's not if the door opens or if this opportunity comes our way. It's intentional. It's we going to go and take hold of it. And it's maybe a silly illustration, but for me, it does drive home the point, is I would rather be on a bike driving in the wrong direction and realize it and turn it around and go in the right direction than being still. Because if you're on a bicycle and you're not pedaling, you're going to fall down. And I wonder how many people are frustrated, angry, bitter, disappointed, is because they haven't done anything with their lives. They've been on this bicycle and they haven't gone anywhere, and as a result they simply tipped over and they're lying on the floor and they've now hurt themselves and they've scuffed their clothes, and there's this disappointment. But I wonder how many people that they're riding, and whether they've got it all together, they're not sure, but as they go and they go, oh, wait a minute, I'm in the wrong place, and they turn, they adjust to get to the life that they are looking for. And there's just so many occasions, and I'm sure you're exactly the same way as me, is that when we interact with people who it's not their responsibility to do a certain task, but they see it and they go, in spite of it not being assigned to me, I'm going to make sure that it happens because I see it. I'll never forget, years ago, we were at a college, and the professor intentionally dropped a piece of paper on the ground, but none of us knew it. And people walking by it all the time, and what happened is one student saw it, picked it up and threw it away. And immediately the professor said, that's the person I want to work with. That's the person I want to call aside. That's the person I want to mentor, is because they didn't just see a problem and walk by it, but they noticed it, picked it up, and took responsibility. They took action. And I wonder how many opportunities, how many moments that we have, but are we taking hold of them? Are we grabbing them? Even though it may not seem like it's for us at that moment, but it's something in those small moments that create these great opportunities. And so my encouragement to you today is to look around you and go, are you riding the road you want to? If you've fallen on the ground, cry, get around some people, get a hug, get restored, and let's get on the bike and let's move forward. If we're riding the bike and we realize we're in the wrong direction, not a problem, just change directions. If we are seeing opportunities, but we're almost being waiting for someone to go, this is the opportunity, or the door is closed and we keep on knocking, instead of knocking, just open the door and walk through. If you see the paper on the ground and you go, well, it's not really got anything to do with me, still it's a golden opportunity. If you can take responsibility, if you can fix it, pick it up and notice how the extravagance of life will come your way. I'm really looking forward as we go forward in the months to come, how we can explore these ideas and these concepts so that we can make it more concrete and more practical, that we can have the handles that we need so that we can live this life out. So looking forward to chatting with you next time. Be kinetic.